Al-Wilayah Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome to the Traveling with the Beloved podcast. My name is Sohail Ibrahim Saleh, and the reason for creating this video today was to be open in what is going around the world right now. It has been almost around 35-40 days since the beginning of Palestine and non-Palestine conflict. And the reason is for not mentioning the name the is not real is because it is not real. It came out of nowhere, and it used the kindness of the Muslims, or let's say the Arabs around those times, and living peacefully was not enough, and they had to take something from this kindness. We have seen this in many forms and many cultures that normally kind is oppressed, and the only way to not be oppressed is to resist. And when people are resisting right now, the weird thing is that they are called terrorists. I don't know whom are they terrorizing. The world powers, because they don't have support that they require. Um, there are a lot of things that we can learn from this conflict, whether it is logically, spiritually, mentally, any kind of ally that you can see, you can learn from this event. There are some traditions that we have seen in Islam, for example, the tradition of Amirul Mu'minin Ali alayhi salam, the son-in-law of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that he says that there are two kinds of beings, human beings. Either he is your brother in blood, or your brother in faith, or your brother in humanity. And today, even if you are not a religious person, you have no religion, when you see this kind of conflict, you come to realize that there is a lot of oppression, and you wish, even though you might not believe, those who do not believe in any religion, they think that this world is the end. They wish, personally, they have this kind of essence that I wish there was a place that these oppressors would be held accountable for what they are doing. For it is very open what is happening right now in Gaza, in Palestine. When you see all the world powers standing against what's right, it opens up a person's humanity and tells him what is happening is not right. And I wish there was a law, a court that would take these people from here and uh, account them for what they have done. You see, every time a post is posted in regards to Palestinians being killed, uh, the reply that you hear is weird, because Israel has the right to defend itself. You see, please forgive me mentioning this name, because sometimes my audience, or the audience of the platform that we are using, are not only Muslims. A lot of brothers, sisters are using these platforms. So when you see that they are saying uh, Israel has the right to defend itself, but why, how, when? These questions are not asked. Israel is supposed to defend itself on the October 7th massacre that happened in the land that they have occupied. Then afterwards you are told, oh, we are defending against the attack that we thought was started by Hamas in shooting the civilians on the Israeli side, when now we know that the attack that happened, or the people that died, were shot by our own helicopters. So they are defending against their own attacks, but by killing some other people over the Palestinian side. You see, the more things are coming up, and you come to realize that a lot of civilians that died on the Israeli side, I know that they are kids and everything, but you come to realize that it's not the doing of the Hamas that is everything. They started propagating they thought propagation is a tool that you could use now, where you have genius generations that can know what's going on. You see, wanting unwanted, uh, um, what do you call, light that the Palestinians are getting right now is not what they have expected. You see, my question is, when you say that uh, Israel has the right to defend itself because of what Hamas did, so where is the point of defense when Israel is the attacker? You see, how come we do not see Israel being blamed, or in that sense, why is Hamas not supported in the time where Israel is the one who is starting the war? Why? And where does it come to your mind or sense that, okay, Hamas, or the way they call it, Hamas, is a terrorist organization? What is terrorism? You see, why does the definition of terrorism change from what is there in Wikipedia to what is named by the Western media? So any organization that doesn't go in line with the Western agenda is called a terrorist or terrorism. But that is not the definition of terrorism. You see, because if we start looking in the sense that if you have a conflict of interest with me and then I become a terrorist or you become a terrorist, then we won't be able to live even in our houses, because today our children are resisting with their parents on things that are not do not matter a lot. So how are we uh, using these terminologies? You see, there are people who are very famous in the social media platform, like Ben Shapiro and the likes of him, that have got enough followers. But when it comes to debating, instead of finding people that are have worked on these matters, they try and go and debate with people who are emotionally attached to this conflict, whether it be the Israeli side or the Palestinian side. If you want a proper debate, bring people that are have gone through, have worked. You see, it is one thing that a debate is kept between two knowledgeable people, and it's something else when the debate is kept between a knowledgeable person and a less knowledgeable person. Here, it's just bringing the knowledgeable person's value down. You're not increasing your essence because you debated with some university student. You want to debate with people that are knowledgeable, are in that field, because you have that capture of media attention. It doesn't mean that whoever, any Tom, Dick, and Harry you choose, and then that's fine. You see? So find people that are worth debating with. Increase your status and stature between the men of knowledge, not between the students of university, and making it okay. That's fine. You see, there's a lot to talk about, but I'll try not to take a lot of your time. Um, there are some things that, as I said, those people who don't believe in God or religion, they also have this essence that we wish there was a place that these issues were accounted for, the things that are going on right now, because uh, they did end up taking up uh, West as superpower, and now the West generally is not working in the right manner, and therefore you see that you have chosen a wrong lord for yourself, and that's why the concept of religion, Islam, and other religions that are there, the religion of oneness, Tawheed, and we see that today the stone thrower is being crumbled upon by the mighty, but what do you call that is hollow, the hollow might, and still um, it does not make sense. Where I have gone through some of the videos where they are saying that when you see a group like Hamas being able to, you know, uh, shake off the might of the Israelis with the support of the West, you come to realize that it is like the story of the ant that is climbing up the nose of the elephant and makes the elephant dance in the tunes of the ant. So there is nothing small or big. When Allah decides to help a group, then you might do as much as you want, call them terrorists, call them anything that you want, but it won't matter, because today, after 30 so days, you have accepted ceasefire. There is a reason for it. Um, I believe the reason the ceasefire was not accepted before is because the Israelis, after viewing the video of the first, those elderly ladies that were released soon from the group, and we came to realize that she was shaking hands with the Hamas people, and she was happy, and the way she was treated, and that also became like, what are Hamas doing? We are telling the world that they are beheading children, and here our own citizens are shaking hands with them. You see, and therefore, uh, when Israel wants to attack Palestine or Gaza in this situation, there is a point where they are looking to kill anyone, including their own members. Even if it is an Israeli citizen, it's fine, because they have said a person that doesn't have a pity on a child and is ready to attack hospitals, then no, for them, what do you call this? Casualties that happen is not of a sort of importance, because it doesn't matter if our own kids, means Israeli children, if they die under these missiles that they are throwing, the rockets and stuff, and you see that it doesn't make sense. Just let them die. It's fine. You see, then we can just blame them that they are the ones who killed um, Israelis. And if it was not for the citizens of themselves, then uh, this war would have continued. As a family member, you want to see your kids, your children, you don't know in their condition. You see, the way the Israeli hostages are living in peace under Hamas, the Palestinians are living a difficult life in the Israeli prisons, you see. And even yesterday, the three exchanges that were made, you would have seen that a letter is brought forward that this Israeli daughter that was under the captivity in Gaza was like a queen between uh, the soldiers and the terrorists, as you call. I don't know what kind of terrorism is this, where the what do you call? They call it Sherlock Holmes something, that you fall uh, uh, in ease with the person who kidnaps you. It's a very weird syndrome. Yeah. So all the captives are feeling at ease and falling for the kindness of this Hamas terrorist. One person, it's fine. You could say that this is a syndrome, but when you see all the captives are free, they are easily uh, seen being with the um, Hamas, and they are kind. They see the kindness that they have received. Now that they will go back home, just pray that they are allowed to use the freedom of speech that they have in Israel and be able to uh, portray what these Hamas terrorists are doing to them, you see. And believe me, in some time, normally when a captive is released, people try to take the statements of the captives, but believe me that the Israelis won't allow any media to go to these captives, because whatever they say is sweeter than honey in regards to Hamas and Palestinians. So when you see the captives are speaking in positive, they will end up killing everyone in Gaza, even if it means their own selves. That is what the logic says, because there's a conflict of interest. We are finding reasons to fight with Gazans, Palestinians, but whatever captives we are getting, they are already speaking in positive manner in regards to the Gazan and Hamas terrorists. Um, it is a lot of things going on. There's a lot to say in this regard. Out of the events that have happened, one was a lot of non Muslims have started reciting the Holy Quran to understand what keeps them resisting this kind of. It's like David versus Goliath, you see, and you see the David winning with difficulties, but it is winning. You see, what the Israelis are doing, the Zionists are doing right now, is the same thing that happened to Prophet Moses when the Pharaoh heard about the news that there is one that is coming and will destroy my kingdom. It had to say that the Pharaoh has the right to defend itself. It's his kingdom that he's talking about. The Israeli is talking the same words, that we have right to defend ourselves or we lose our kingdom. Now how to do that is kill all the infant, so that nobody is able to rise against the kingdom of Pharaoh. You see? And now they have this concept, an idea of the Messiah, the Savior, you see, the Mahdi, whatever you call it in different religions, there is the concept of a Savior. And I don't know how, as a Zionist, if they are Jews, as they say, when you know that Moses, even though Pharaoh had killed all the infants, God made him reach the position he had to reach to save his people from Pharaoh. I don't know, why don't you understand this concept that if God has willed to send someone to come and defend the people of the Palestinians, without any issue, whatever you do, nothing can uh, obstruct this mission. If God has decided that something is going to happen, it will happen. What you can easily do is just delay what's going to happen. That's it. You cannot completely obstruct the main mission of what is planned by God, for He is the best of planners. You see, recently, just 1 2 days ago, uh, I'm sorry, these kind of things are funny, and I need to mention is that a news report, if I'm not mistaken, in Israeli Times came up that when the IDF soldiers were shooting against Hamas, they ended up shooting their own soldiers in a friendly fire. Now, normally in this scenario, there are only two things. The plan of attack was sudden. You see, you have not prepared yourself. So we come to know that IDF system is very, what do you call, very hollow. It's not strategic. You see, and the second thing is that you come to understand that normally when you are in a war or in a field and you are shooting, you are mentally prepared. Sorry, but when you come to realize that mm, these people who are actually in Gaza right now are just there to show numbers, but they are not mentally prepared for war. And this is who Hamas is fighting. And this is who Hamas is fighting. So when you see you have a team of cowards, they might be in thousands or millions, and you have brave soldiers that are, I would say, Hamas. And when they fight, you know who is going to come out at top. IDF is a unit where these people are not ready to die for something. They are there just to show power. And then we have Hamas. Hamas is not a team, it's an ideology. The moment you feel that you are completely done, you end up seeing a rise in them. And we have seen that a lot in history. There are some people like uh, Brother Piers Morgan. He comes in the show and uh, it it's funny because when you see people like them that host different media programs, you end up saying and speculating that they are the most knowledgeable, at least in what they do. But when he comes and he's saying that, where do I draw the line that what Israel is doing is not right? I am not knowledgeable, but I find it stupid when a person like him comes and says that, where do I draw the line? If you cannot draw the line right now between humanity and insanity, just propose your shows for, I don't know, AIs, not human beings. You had a lot of people in your shows, and you had you had seen the flow of different people. That even a person that is not knowledgeable, if he would have heard all the interviews that you had between 7th onwards till today, and you have brought all those people to come, the propositions, the oppositions, the Hamas side and the other side, the Israeli side, and they come and defend and fight. Some of them, even though they defend Palestinians, but were, I don't know, do you condemn what Hamas did? No, you don't condemn something like that. You want to condemn something according to what happened in that period. Why don't you see what is the cause of it? It's not like Hamas was elected on 7th October. You see? So when you condemn Hamas, I would like to tell this message to those who actually fall into this trap. Do you condemn Hamas and then afterwards do you condemn Israel, what is doing? No, it's stupidity. You can't condemn the affected. You have to condemn the one that started. And uh, it's funny when you hear Piers Morgan, he says that we know that the war started in 75 years ago, 70 years ago. And he knows that how it started. It started not because of Israel or Palestine. It started because of uh, British that wanted to give a piece of land that was not his, as usual. Right now, it's also doing the same thing. Who gave the right to British to give this land to them? You want a land? Go and give your land to them. Don't come into the Middle East where you have no foundation and then start giving out lands. It's not yours to give. Give what's yours. That is what you teach in your schools, yeah? Class 1, class 2, ethics. What's yours, give others. It's a good ethic, moral ethic. That what is not yours, ask for it. That's the least you can do. You can't give something that's not yours. And still some people say that we do not see the line, we do not know the line, where to draw the line between right and wrong. As long as humanity, the light of humanity is in your heart, with closed eyes, you'll be able to realize where is the truth. And by ending this point, we are commemorating the Shahada night of Bibi Fatema Zahra, the daughter of the Holy Prophet. I want to bring something from the daughter of the Holy Prophet towards light to what is happening in Palestine right now. And this is that one of the events that happened in the time of the daughter of the Holy Prophet, Fatima alayhi salam, for the community that do not know who Fatima is, if you are not a Muslim and you are a Christian, or if you are not a Christian, you are a Jew, this will help a lot. That it is in our traditions that there are four ladies that have been chosen to be in heaven, or the master of women in heaven, of which one is Asiya, the wife of the Prophet, or the wife of Pharaoh, the mother of Prophet Musa, the one who took care of Moses, peace be upon him. The second lady is the mother of Jesus, peace be upon him, that is Mary, Maryam. The third one is Khadija, the wife of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him and his family. And the fourth one is Bibi Fatema alayhi salam, the daughter of the Holy Prophet, the sole child of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. There was an incident that took place in those times where after the Holy Prophet had passed away, there is this group of people who are politically motivated came to the door of the daughter of the Holy Prophet, and they knocked it down, burned it down, and it became a chaos where the unborn child of Bibi Fatima alayhi salam passed away, and she suffered injuries. It was a lack of commemoration of that event, the tragedy, that became the reason today, even being a very important part in the Islamic Ummah, only few sects in Islam do commemorate this tragedy, known as the days of Fatima Fatimiyya, the days of grievance. And it is said, if what is happening right now in Palestine, I'm not trying to compare this, I'm just bringing into light as a duty of a human being, as a humanity. If that incident would have forgotten, today nobody would remember Fatima alayhi salam. The same thing goes for what is going on in Palestine. The tragedy that is happening in Palestine, the men, women, the children, we can see the photos and videos of what is going on the ground, that are being slaughtered, killed using uh, these missiles and everything. If, as a human being, you won't be able to raise your sound on this, then this issue will be completely forgotten. And if it is forgotten, know that you have just buried your soul, for you have not rised up by giving your sound. A protection of the oppressed is the sound of a free man. As a free person, if you are able to get your sound on, then promote what is right. We have been neglected in sharing different stories. We have been neglected in sharing different stories due to limitations in social media. But we are sharing what is right. And I'm not saying my right is better than all the other rights that are there. No. Learn more about these issues. It will What will come out of this conflict for those who are around the world is that their humanity will awaken. You see, know the value of a human being, of a human soul. When an elderly is killed without mercy and the young ones are not even catered upon, a child in the womb of the mother is something that even an enemy would feel for it. Nobody is higher than the authority of righteousness. Promote what is right. Stand with the truth. It is still weird when someone says that they have the right to defend themselves, but the people that they are killing have no authority even upon themselves. The children that they are dying, they don't have any weapons. Now we hear that they have left 170 Palestinians for 50, but then have taken another 150 from West Bank. What is it? What are you doing? You see, doesn't it make sense that you should rise up right now and see what is going on, what is right and what is wrong? Wake up, wake up. For if you don't wake up right now, it will be too late. Don't sell your soul for cheap, for fake news. Learn more about this conflict. Being knowledgeable on a topic makes you survive from different accounts. Learn more about the issues that are going on around the world. It's true you might be staying in one city, but as a human being, as a humanity, in the concept of humanity, you need to learn what's going on. And this should be a lesson for all those who believe on the Western medias that say this person is a terrorist, this person is a terrorist. You need to learn about those figures that were actually called terrorists, but they were not terrorists. Learn histories of different countries. Learn histories of African countries. Learn history of Palestine. How did Israel come to existence? What they are saying right now, that Palestine have no right? Let me tell you, these Palestinians that are Muslim today, they were Jews in one of their lineages 100, 200, 300 years, 500 years. The only reason they are being removed is not because they are Palestinians or Muslims, it's because they are Arabs. My message for all the Muslim community is this, that there is a saying from a great scholar that while Muslims are arguing whether to open their hands or close their hands in Salah, the enemies are trying to cut those hands off. You see, today a country that is opening their hands in Salah is helping the country that is closing their hands. This is unity. And this is what Israel and the West is afraid of. People need to start boycotting stuffs. It's not like you cannot survive without Coca-Cola or Pepsi, Nestle. You have local brands. Support them. Why do you need to support other brands that make benefit for others and not yourselves? If you resist with Palestinians in their fight, you'll be able to resist your economy and be better in your economy of your country. Make this a tool as a human being. Support this humanitarian cause with Palestinians for your own selves. وصلى الله على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد